Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to add a remote rollover. And we're going to add a bunch more images to start because we need a little gallery kind of set up. All right, so the images we're going to work out of are in this folder here, the remote rollover. Let me just talk about what's here. The TV2, that's the big one. So leave that set aside for now. So we need to insert TV2. We need to do the thumbnail, 3 thumbnail, 4 thumbnail, and actually this white box, because that's where things are going to go to when they get bigger. So if you're going to do this kind of technique, you need kind of like a placeholder. And again, the white box is just a white box I made in Photoshop. Okay, it's literally just a white box. Nothing tricky there. Let me see, what's the image size? Yeah, it's very small. Okay. I think it's the same size. Yes, it's the same size as my JPEGs. Okay, so for this, when it works best when all the JPEGs are the same size and the white box is the same size. Okay, and I'm talking about the larger JPEGs, not the smaller ones. I know those are smaller. So first off, let's insert everything we need to do this. So we're going to be using the same behavior panel, but we're just going to have a few more things set up to begin with. So this isn't a gallery type option for you. So insert image. So I'm going to go to my remote rollover and let's put the white box in first. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put everything in I just talked about. Just moving that div so nothing gets weird. Just keep moving it down. 3. I think the Google search here was, I think I Google searched stand in front of the TV. I tried to think of a kind of fun things you could look for. All right, so there we go. If I just preview this in the web real quick, just so you can kind of see what I got going on. Shoot. All right, yes. All right, and I put a little outline in Photoshop around the window. Okay, so nothing's happening yet, but the idea again is when I roll over this image here, I mouse over this, it'll pop up over here. Okay, so that does get a little tricky in setting it up. So the one thing we need to do, so we know what it is we're looking at, because when I go to start adding the behaviors, I need to know what is the white box. Okay, so I'm going to ID this white box, so I know, again, when I go to the behaviors, which one I'm looking at. Okay, so let's do that. So you could do that in your properties if you want, or you could just space and type ID, but let's use your properties. Window properties, and yeah, I can use it down here. See, ID. It'll be the same as like when we do the divs. ID, I'll call this white underscore. No, I'm going to take the whites, just 2 words next to each other, no spaces, white box. Okay. So now we're actually going to add the behavior to the rollover, to the small thumbnail, not to the white box. All right. So I click on my first thumbnail, plus swap image. Okay, so now actually up here I'm going to switch it. So the source, or not the source, but where the image pops up is over here. So I know now that says white box. Okay, So then browse and pick the big one. Hit OK. And now let's see. Yep, so I roll over down here and it pops up there. Let's keep trying that. So I'm going to pick the next one. Okay, where's my behaviors? Over here. Plus swap image. I'm going to select the white box because that's where I want it to be. Browse. Pick number 3. And I hope you're kind of seeing that, there's a lot of like little clicking and there's, things that are going on. There's a lot of opportunity to have confusion. And that's part of the reason why I find the naming conventions need to be very clear. Okay, and I hope you're kind of seeing that, like, oh yeah, if I'm going through and everything's named like weird and I don't really know what I have in my folder, I could run into a lot of problems. I've set up a lot of galleries in my day, so I know from experience that having them clear is the best. And last one. Okay, so let's preview this in the web. Make sure it works good. I'm pretty sure it will. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Okay, everyone's happy. These cool TVs. All right, so that's a remote rollover.